Well, hello again, YouTube. It's Petey, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Wikipedia for Big Rigs Over the Road Racing, the 2003 racing video game developed by Stellar Stone, published by Game Mill Publishing. The player controls a semi-trailer truck, a big rig, and races a stationary opponent through checkpoints on the U.S. truck routes. Stellar Stone, based in California, outsourced the game's development to the Ukraine. The game was released in an unfinished state on November 20th, 2003. Due to a multitude of bugs and lack of proper gameplay, Big Rigs was critically panned, became the worst rated game on review aggregator websites Metacritic and Game Rankings, and it's frequently been cited as one of the worst video games of all time. Excuse me. Whew, getting tired of all that reading. And so here we have a cover image. We see the Dimebag Darrell style lightning, fire breathing diesels. And look out, because whenever there's some good, clean trucking fun, there'll be the Smokey. Smokey will be there. He's a rascal. Big Rigs Over the Road Racing is a racing video game. Although the game's packaging states its objective as racing over U.S. truck routes to be the first to deliver cargo and avoid arrest by the police. The game features no law enforcement. The player chooses from four play. I can't stop laughing. The game features no police. It's on the cover. There's a Smokey, but there's no cop in the game. Player chooses from four playable semi-trailer trucks or big rigs and through 5 truck routes, although selecting the 4th route will cause the game to crash. That's the one I would immediately, like, if I was going to try this game, I would find myself on that menu on the first time I'm playing it, and I would pick that and have it make it crash. That's just Speedy's luck. Once selected, the player navigates their truck through checkpoints using the arrow keys. Driving the truck in reverse allows the truck to accelerate indefinitely, while releasing the associated key will instantly halt it. Oh. I'm gonna have a heart attack. I'm laughing so hard. Can you imagine the kid that got this for Christmas? Can you imagine being that kid? Can you imagine being the kid that got this for Christmas? There is no time. There is no time limit to complete a race, and the opponent does not move. The player's truck can pass through all opponent and objects placed in the route due to a lack of collision detection. Off-roading bears no traction penalty. Hills can be ascended and descended without affecting the truck's speed. And traversal is possible in the void outside of the game map. Of course you can go off the map. Completing a race rewards the player with an image of a trophy bearing the phrase, "Your winner." So it looks like one of the guys in the business offered people could replace the game with any Activision title if they send them a copy of the game and a sales receipt, and a registration card, which 20 people did that. So yeah, there were at least 20 people that bought this game. Big Rigs Over the Road Racing received overwhelming dislike, according to the review aggregator website Metacritic. Based on 5 critic reviews, the site calculated an average rating of 8 out of 100, its lowest ever. The game stood as the all-time worst, worst game on somebody's in withdrawal. The worst game on game rankings. Big Rigs has been cited as one of the worst video games of all time by GameSpot, PC Gamer, Kotaku, Computer and Video Games, Cockadoodle-Doo, Hardcore Gamer, The Guardian, Games Radar, X-Play, Games You Should Never Buy. Co-host Morgan Webb describes Big Rigs as the worst game ever made and refused to score it, as the program's rating system did not allow for a 0 score. Steve Hask of the Game Zone regarded it as the most abysmal racing game in 2011. Alex Navarro reviewed Big Rigs for GameSpot in January 2004 and criticized the game's high number of bugs, including the absence of collision detection, enemy movement, and game physics, lack of proper gameplay, poor truck controls. Additionally, he labeled the game as easily one of the worst-looking PC games released in years. It's almost completely broken, blatantly unfinished in nearly every way, declaring that Big Rigs was as bad as your mind will allow you to comprehend. Navarro rated the game a 1 out of 10, described as abysmal, the lowest score that they had allowed up to that point. He argued that GameSpot should have introduced a 0 out of 10 rating for Big Rigs. The game remained the only one to have a 1 out of 10 from GameSpot until 2013's Hellride Retribution. Oh, hey, I know what I'm doing tomorrow. In the site's 2004 year-end accolades, Big Rigs was named flat-out worst game. Editor stated they would henceforth use the game's winning trophy to represent the award. In 2014, Alex Carlson of Hardcore Gamer remarked that because Big Rigs lacked a challenge, incentive to play, and ability to lose, it could not be accurately described as a game. According to Steven Strom of Ars Technica, Big Rigs isn't just a failure of programming thanks to numerous bugs and crashes. It's a failure of creativity. Hardcore game, man, can you... Don't mince words. Tell us how you really feel. Hardcore Gaming 101 Paul Chenevert was torn between calling Big Rigs hilariously campy and just shamefully terrible. Jason Schreier, writing for Cockadoodle-Doo, opined that the humorous video accompanying Navarro's Big Rigs review immortalized the game. A satirical review on angry video game nerds significantly contributed to the game's popularity. Big Rigs has attracted a cult following. YourWinner.com, forming a dedicated fan site. David Houghton. Wow, that's a fancy last name. David Houghton of Games Radar attributed the game's notoriety to its bugs, saying that otherwise Big Rigs would simply be an unremarkable, long-forgotten racing. Also ran another than the Festival of Hilarity it currently stands. Hitoff went on to work for Riot Games and League of Legends before releasing the War Z in December 2012. In September 2008, he stated he was still in possession of the source code for Big Rigs, but he could not release it because it was still owned by Stellar Stone and Game Mill. The NYU Game Center exhibited big rigs as part of its Bad is Beautiful, an exhibition exploring fascinatingly bad games at its NYU Game Center in April 2012. Navarro did a speed run. So yeah, I downloaded a copy of this game, and more than likely in the next video I will be playing that for you guys. I'll do a let's play series on big rigs, over the road racing. So kick your tires and check your wires. 10-4, good buddy. We're gonna be heading out on over to the road with our big rigs. 10-4.